Hello and welcome to Cheshire Audio. In the workshop today, and what I'm going to do is just show how to set up and calibrate the tone arm on a Dual 505. Don't get asked for this very often now, but I just thought there doesn't seem to be any sort of videos on YouTube showing how to do that, so I thought I'd do one just to anybody who's got an old Dual and wants to set the arm up, just so you've got a bit more information. Okay, so I'll turn this camera around. Let's have a look. So yeah, here we go. I've actually got two in the workshop at the moment. I've got 505-1 and a 505-2. And also, I don't tend to take these in generally, but both of these were apparently going to be just straightforward faults. As it's turned out, and this is probably the reason I don't take them in anymore, they've turned out both have really complex multiple faults on them, so I don't know where we're going with them really. Probably more cost involved than is worth doing really, but anyway, that's another story. The point of the video is just to show how to set up one of the tone arms. So they're both the same, 505-1, 505-2, absolutely identical. The only slight difference is the 505-1 had a different fitting on it. This has got an adapter on it, but it has like a bayonet type cartridge fit. So if you've got the original cartridge on one of these, which this isn't, it was more like the Autofon 5E that's on there really. If you've got an original cartridge bayonet fit type, you'll have to buy either just that one stylus that fits it, or find one of these adapters to adapt it. Anyway, going on to the I'm going to use the 505-2 just to show the setup. I'll set the camera up and just show you how you go about that. First thing you need to do actually with the Dual is slightly different in that you need to put it into. It needs to be into sort of down mode, which you can't do without actually moving the arm across until you hear the click, and then you can put it into down, because you want that not to be impeded by the lifter. So we're in the right position now to set up, and I'll just set up the camera and we can have a proper look at it. So, like I say, the lifter in the down position, you can still rest it on there while we're setting things up a little bit for the start. There is a little dial there. You just put everything to 0 for a start, so that needs to be in the central position to 0. This dial here, which is that's the vertical tracking force dial, that needs to be 0 as well, which I'll try and show. I don't know, but we'll focus on that. So we're on 0 to that line. Now the weight goes on that way around with the thick end to the front. You used to be able to get extra weight for the back of these, but they're probably not available now. Now what you're trying to do, as soon as you put the weight on, you'll see that the front goes up. Now what we're trying to do is to find the balance point. As everything's set to 0, you're trying to move this weight so that everything is 0. So you move it in, keep just letting go. In fact, see, it's actually dropping now. So we've gone too far, we need to go back a bit. And what you want it to do is, when you let go, is to just stay where it is. So we're quite close there. In fact, we're probably right there. So we'll slightly tweak it a bit. Yeah, so that's floating now. So if it's actually sitting above the armrest, if we touch it, it'll just stabilise itself. So now we've found the 0 point, what you need to know is what's the tracking force of this cartridge, and that's an Autofon 5E. The 5Es I tend to track, personal preference actually, I tend to track them about 1.8. So what you need to do is dial up on the little dial there 1.8. So put that up to just under 2. There. You can see that again. We're just under 2. So that's done now with this little spring force mechanism in there, and that's pressing down on the front of the tone arm. So when you let go of it, we've got 1.8 grams at the front, and then the mysterious little dial here, which is a bit of unusual to Duals. This one, it's got 2 scales on it, one with a circle on, one with an ellipse on it. The circle is for sort of the cheaper end of cartridges, which have got like a spherical tip. So the diamond is just like a sphere, not shaped at all, and the top one is for elliptical styli, which are the more shaped, tend to be more expensive styli. Now this has got an Autofon 5E on it. The E stands for elliptical, so we're using the top scale, and what you do with that is, without dropping the camera, put that to roughly the same amount on the camera works terrible, roughly the same amount as the weight. I mean, people will argue this on forums, but just about the same value. Anybody who tells you you need to use a blank disc to set it up, that is actually wrong. It's a bit of a forum myth, internet myth, that one. So now we're set up. So we've got the weight on, we've got the bias set up. And I've said this before, but that's quite often called anti-skate. That is a misleading term. It doesn't stop the stylus jumping out of the groove or skating across the record. If the stylus is, if it's skating across the record, there's something else going on. It's not to do with the bias or the anti-skate setting. So that's it. That's your dual tone arm setup, all ready to go. Okay, yeah. So I hope that was useful. Any questions about this? Give me a call at the shop. I wouldn't tend to leave any questions in comments because I quite often don't get round to sorry, delivery van. Quite often don't get round to actually being able to respond to them because I get so many now. It's really difficult to keep up with it. So if you any questions, just give me a call at the shop. Really, the phone number will be on the end of the video. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give me a subscribe and a like if you like. So I'll see you in a future video. Thank you very much.